Hey everyone, welcome to GeForce. I'm Julian. I'm here with Eric. He's the project technical director for Agents of Mayhem, and that's a game I wanted to check out. So we're here in Marin, California, and he's going to show us this game. So, Agents of Mayhem, in this game, you guys had a departure from your previous games, the Saint Row series, right? And it looks like the focus is to be mostly character-based, right? Like you
Absolutely.
have 12 heroes in this game.
Right.
And so we can take 3 into battle. Who are we taking?
This is Daisy. She's one of my favorites. She is a roller derby chick with a big bad attitude.
Oh yeah, I see that.
So she's a lot of fun. She's got the giant minigame, so she's one of our kind of tank characters. Like you said, this is a character-focused game, so one of the things we wanted to change from Saints Row was to make it more about the individual characters. Whereas in Saints Row, you've got the boss, which is fun because you can customize them to be whatever you want. We wanted to show some personality, some characters that we've created, and really give some backstory between them and show interaction between them. So while you're going on your missions, the characters will have chatter back and forth with each other. They'll talk to the car, they talk to the agents back at the base.
Hey, Friday, where'd all this intel come from anyway?
Oh, I helped with that.
Yes, Claymore is distressingly good at uncovering the origins of strange weapons, or things that could be weaponized.
And then they all have very different styles of play. So as in Saints Row, you've got a weapon radio and you can select all your different things. Here you get to choose your play style by taking out your action figures. This is one of our big influences is growing up when we had Saturday morning cartoons and action figures and A-Team and
Right.
Knight Rider, all these kind of shows where there's very over-the-top villains and stories, all these characters. We wanted to make kind of an updated adult version of all these childhood influences. So we've got a toy box full of characters that play very differently. They have very bombastic attitudes and different reasons for joining.
So you've got these characters that people can attach to as they're playing through the games and getting to know them a bit more. You've also got this dynamic where you can have this squad of 3 and switch between them on the fly, right? So how does having this plethora of characters to choose from affect your gameplay when you can round out this squad?
You can choose your playstyle based on the character. So you've got the tank with the minigun, you've got the crazy German that has a shotgun / rifle that you can switch between. You've got Scheherazade, who is a ninja with a sword and can run around in stealth and stab people in the back.
So across 3 characters, we've got range, melee, and then close-up, shotgun in your face-ness. Yeah.
And then all of them, you can go into our squad select here and you can see I've got special abilities on them, so I can either do extra damage against shields or armor or headshots or against bosses. There's all these different abilities that you can select and build your squad around. The characters are kind of the gross version of here's the style I want to play, but then within each one, you can unlock different special abilities, different gadgets, all these things that let you tweak and tune specifically to how you want them to play.
So as you play more with a character and get more attached to them, they also get stronger and stronger
Absolutely,
and stronger.
absolutely. Yeah, you can further refine them. So instead of the visual customizations of Saints Row, we went for gameplay customization very deeply. There's a lot of different ways that you can customize your gameplay style beyond just, okay, I'm going to take these 3 or those 3 agents. There's a lot of player choice, so you can choose how to play it, and then you can go back and you can replay things. So we've got a whole mission replay system once you've completed a level, because every agent has their own custom lines for each mission.
So the playable characters is the biggest difference from Saints Row, but what did you guys kind of carry over and decide that these were things that Saints Row was really successful at that you wanted to bring into Agents of Mayhem?
It's very much let the player have fun.
Good policy.
Yes.
People seem to like fun.
So right here you can see I just put a guy into a big ball. This is
Appropriate for the roller derby girl.
That's right.
Yeah.
You can knock it around. So that's what we call Gremlin Tech. Gremlin is kind of the 007Q character. She's making gadgets and little weird inventions for you. So that was one of the big tenets we wanted to stick with is, this is a game. It's about having fun. It's about doing some things that normal games that take themselves too seriously wouldn't do. We want to poke fun at ourselves. We want to poke fun at games in general. There's lots of pop culture references, which is a very, very big Saints Row thing. We did want to keep the narrative style of Saints Row. There are the very big missions you go through. You learn about the characters. So we wanted that aspect of it, which again is why we wanted to do more character-based, so we can tell more specific stories about the agents that you're playing as.
Just a moment.
Good work. We must find out what Steel Toe is doing with all that data. Be careful.
This looks like a party worth crashing.
So right now we're going into an underground lair. Legion has basically taken over most of the world. They hit every major military power at the same time, took out all the resistance, and now they are infiltrated into cities around the world. We're focused on Seoul in this game. You'll see on top of buildings, there's giant like spider-looking things that they've made kind of outposts on, and then there's these underground layers where you can find hidden bases, basically. Like they're assembling some more of their foot soldiers, so you have to go both above and below the city to try to take out their dastardly plans.
So Seoul is an interesting choice. It's a real world setting, and I can't think of any game set in South Korea. None come to mind. Why did you guys choose Seoul?
As part of it right there is nobody else has really done it. It's an interesting place. We wanted to go for the high-tech vibe, and Seoul was a very good fit for that.
Watching you play this game, you just get the sense that you guys built a game that you were like, we think this is funny, and we want to do more of it. Bringing that Volition over the topness to just about every aspect of it.
Absolutely. All right, let's get Braddock to blow some
Yeah, we haven't
stuff
seen
up.
Braddock yet.
Yeah, so Braddock is an ex-military punk kid who's been dragged around her whole life on military bases and went through herself, and then became disillusioned because Legion took a bunch of her recruits that she trained and turned them into evil operatives, and so she's pissed.
Part of the appeal of these characters, too, is that they're not necessarily good guys themselves, right?
No.
That was something that was discussed, like the tagline's bad versus evil, right? So you've got Legion, which is just rife with biblical satanic references, and then the Agents of Mayhem themselves. What makes them maybe bad guys that would still be somebody we want to get to know and play with?
The idea is that you kind of have a license to do anything you want because you're ultimately trying to defeat Legion, who nobody else can take on now. You are the last line of defense. So if you need to run over some grandmas on the street corner on your way to take Legion on, we're not going to penalize you for doing things that other games might be like, that's not nice to run people over in the street or to turn them into cabots and blow them up.
Or sometimes there's just that disconnect, right? Like you'll play games where you're the good guy, but you will run over people in the street, and it's just never addressed.
Out of context.
Like,
So this is
it's
just
fine.
This is just totally in character, in context. It's okay because you're trying to stop these guys from doing worse things.
Yeah.
One of the plots in here, the guy's trying to use a tractor beam to pull the moon into Seoul. And like, why
I
not
didn't even know the end game of that plan.
I don't know.
Yes,
Just
once
like-
the moon is here, the tides will be higher and I can go sailing more. Or...
So they have really, terrible at their game. I failed it again.
Now.
Got it. There we go. They have really lousy encryption, and they leave all their data sitting on computers around their bases that we can just walk into.
I like how that's
Very
something
nice of them.
that's like verbally like nodded to.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that was really fortunate that their encryption's terrible.
Break the fourth wall.
A lot of tongue-in-cheek, yeah, like
Very nice.
commentary on video games. You know, like you play other games where it's hacking and it's just like, ooh, I'm a hacker.
This makes no sense. So like ours is kind of goofy on purpose.
Yeah.
You want to see real pain? Tag me in.
So this is my Mayhem move. Once you've done enough damage and killed enough guys, you build up to the kind of superpower of each character. Red card basically makes himself explode because he gets so angry and does damage to everybody around him.
There's some strategy too. You sucker them in and
Yeah.
then go red card.
Uh-oh.
Oh, this is the boss.
Well, this is like the leader of the wave. So this guy is nearly invulnerable except for his back. So you have to get him, oh crap. Got to get him to do his attack where he goes, punches into the ground, and get behind him. Okay, so we're gonna switch to Braddock now. So Braddock's special ability makes them vulnerable, which will help out here. She can just eat through these heavily armored guys.
Got him.
Yeah, so there's lots of different crazy plots going on, different things to do, but then there's also open world. So you can run around Saints Row style and be like, I'm gonna make up my own goals, or I'm gonna, like there's different challenges and things you can compete in. There are what we call global contracts. So you can work together with a group of people online to complete some challenge, and then everybody gets rewarded if you do that together as a group.
Do they come into your world at all, or is it still purely
it's just,
single player?
It's single player, but you're
Accomplishing
adding to the same.
something.
Like if it's get 500 headshots, okay, well I got 100 of them, and somebody else got 200 and
Yeah.
whatever. So you're
Somebody
adding
else is
to
really
the same
pulling their
pool,
weight.
right? But we specifically wanted to make a single player focused game on the narrative, on the characters.
So to sum up, you've got character-based, single-player game, open world in Seoul with that classic Volition mayhem over-the-topness that we've come to know and love.
Yeah.
You guys out there, you heard the man. August 15th in the US, August 18th in Europe, is that right?
Yep.
Agents of Mayhem coming out. If you love the Saints Row series, if you want to see more of what Volition's got, if you want to see some new characters maybe you get attached to and love and end up cosplaying one day, check out Agents of Mayhem then.